Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be checking out a video titled German Culture Shocks as an American Exchange Student. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but my first time ever meeting Germans were exchange students in the United States to the university that I actually wanted to go to, which is Coastal Carolina University in South Carolina. That was the university I wanted to go to, but obviously I'm living in Finland. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna be checking out this video right now, so please do like and subscribe if you want to see the original video. Link will be in the description. Check it out. And yeah, I wonder what are the culture shocks that she would have as an exchange student. You know, should be quite interesting. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Montana. I'm studying abroad in Germany. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, you should go watch those. But today I'm going to be talking about 15 or so differences that I've noticed in Germany and the biggest culture shocks that I've experienced so far. I'm going to start off with some of the less controversial differences, and then towards the end I'm going to talk more about the personality and social differences that I've noticed here. And so I have a list on my phone. If I'm looking down, that's why. The first culture shock that I have about living in Germany is that on Sundays everything here is closed, with the exception of cafes, and then but pretty much just cafes and some restaurants are open on Sundays. But grocery stores are closed, the mall's closed, everything in general is closed on Sundays in Germany because it's supposed to be a family day and you're supposed to relax, and also is a day of religion. People are still religious, but they don't necessarily.
I definitely have no problem with it. It's a beautiful thing. Ain't nothing wrong with resting, okay?
Go to church every Sunday. The second culture shock, this isn't so much a culture shock, it's just something different, is that a lot of people in Germany drive stick shift or manual, so when the car isn't automatic, and so the stoplights here, they turn yellow before they turn green again. Like in the US it's just red and then it'll turn green.
You know that hold on, did she just explain this thing for me? Because it makes way more sense. When you're driving an automatic car, you can just press the gas and you're ready to go, right? You're holding onto the brake at the stoplight, right? But with a manual car, you gotta, sing the clutch in if you're gonna keep it in gear, and you have to press the brake as well. So it's a lot more difficult. But smart people would just pop it in neutral, handbrake, be good to go, right? But when the light actually turns from yellow or orange, whatever it is, and it goes to green, right? You can actually put that thing in first gear, get your clutch ready, and you're ready to go, right? However, when it's just turning from red to green, it's like boom, and then honk honk. Well, I don't really think you guys honk like that in Europe at all, because I've never really seen anyone do the honk in Finland. I don't do it either. But yeah, in the United States you definitely can get that. But I don't know if that's the real reason why the stoplight changes like that. However, it's very much a valid conversation topic, as a possible reason. You guys let me know, please, in the comment section down below. Why does the lights like that do that in Europe, or to be specific, Germany?
But here it goes, when something's red, it'll turn to yellow and then green, because I think that you need that time to start up your car. I'm not really sure. I don't know how to drive stick shift, but I can't drive here anyway. My next culture shock, while we're on the topic of cars, is that gas here is so expensive. And
gas is better in Europe though. 95 is the minimum that I've seen in Finland. Literally 95. Oh! You know what's funny? I went a little bit south from where I live in Finland, and I saw E85. E85 is a racing gas, dude. That is high quality gas, okay? So, yeah, Europe has really good gas, so that's the reason why it's actually so expensive. A lot of people don't speak on that, but it's not that expensive when you actually evaluate that. The United States, you have 87. Like, Europe is 95, the lowest that I've seen.
I use public transportation, the bus system, to get to school and basically to get to wherever I needed. But gas here, I didn't realize how expensive it was, because they first off, it's in euros, but then second off, it's in liters, and we use gallons in the US. But one time I was like curious to figure out how much it actually is, and it's like $5.30 a gallon here in Germany. And I know that in the US we complain when it reaches close to $3 a gallon, and if there's like a 2-cent difference or a 10-cent difference, then we'll drive to another gas station. Another thing that is crazy is there's no ice. Like, I know that this was in the previous video, but I just have to address it again because there's no ice in pretty much any of the drinks unless you ask for it, and when you ask for it, you look weird. It's just something that you have to get used to here in Germany. And for example, at the McDonald's especially, everyone here loves McDonald's, but when you get a soda, first off, it's super expensive. Second off, it's like this big. They're large.
The large is literally simply I'm not gonna say, but I'm gonna say medium, in my humble opinion.
Is the size of an American small, and
it's not.
That just goes.
It's not. It's not that small. The large is just like a normal size. It's not small. It's not an American small. Like I don't know about Germany because I've never done it in Germany, but with Finland I've done the comparison, and the large here is like the normal, in the United States. So I don't think it's small at all. But maybe that's what she's referring to though, because yeah.
Show how unhealthy we are in the US, but they don't put ice in the drink in the sodas, and I guess it's because you're paying for the soda, and if you put in ice then you'd really be getting no soda, but you definitely have to get used to that because it's not that the soda's warm, it's just not like ice cold like in the US. Another thing about this style here is that every single girl in Germany has a middle part. And it's not like this is a big culture shock, but I honestly was sitting on the bus looking at all of the girls going into school, and every single girl had a middle part. And I know I say this, and there are plenty of German girls who don't have middle parts, but I never knew that. I guess it's a very European or a very German style thing, but personally, I cannot put my hair in a middle part. Like, it doesn't go. So I can't take on that German trend. These small differences that I've noticed here that is not like in the US is that when people sign their name, like a signature, it's normally just the last name. So like everyone in the family would have the same, not the same signature, but they would all sign their last name, versus in the US we sign normally first and last name. Another difference for sure is the like cafe and drinking culture. Drinking culture itself is also different here, but I'm specifically going to talk about cafe culture because people here just love going to cafes, and I love this. It's so fun. You just go to a cafe, get your tea or your coffee, and sit with friends and drink your coffee. Or every Sunday, my host family and I, we go to a cafe. And just in the US, we have Starbucks, but at Starbucks you get your coffee and you go, or there's like a drive-through line at Starbucks. So we don't have this culture where you sit down and you just sip tea or sip coffee and talk with another person. That's a very European thing, I think. Yeah. And there are definitely some places in the United States that are trying to make this a culture, but it's just definitely not as popular. Now I'm gonna talk about the more personality traits that have been a shock to me. And the first being that Germans are a lot more aware of their security and their privacy, especially when it comes, I just said especially really weird, especially when it comes to online privacy. Whenever you want to take a picture of someone or a group, or especially when I'm filming these YouTube videos, I have to ask if it's okay, if that person wants to be in the photo or if they want to be in the video, because just in general, they're really protective of what about them goes online. And that's
the thing is, I think a lot of people in the United States do feel this exact same way. When it comes to recording, for me, like as a guy who carries around cameras, like I have so many different types of cameras, right, for different occasions, right. Let's say this GoPro that I have right here, right. I'm biking, right, and I'm obviously you know, not recording you, right? You just happen to be there. I personally don't see an issue with that form of recording where you are accidentally in a clip. You know, what I have a problem with is if you come straight up to my face, bing, and you're recording me. I'm the center of attraction in that joint, right? It's all about me. Well, that's where I have an issue, and I think a lot of Americans actually do have an issue with this as well. But where it comes to just freely recording, I don't know how strict a lot of Europeans are, but I would hope that it's not offensive if you see somebody out vlogging and you happen to, you know, be in the camera. But what I'm happy about is the cameras that we have these days. Even with her camera that she has, there's a form of blur in the background, and I hope a lot of people are educated enough for this, because if I come close to my camera, look at my background, it dies, right? It becomes one big blur. But if I go all the way back, well, I can't go all the way back because there's stuff there. It becomes, you know, like, it's not blurry, right? So, I think a lot of Americans actually are against, you know, being filmed without permission and stuff like that. But I respect this, you know, and I think it's very respectful to ask someone before posting something about them, you know, in terms of a picture or something online. It's not cool.
Really responsible. Especially in the US, we've seen, just in general, they're really protective of what about them goes online, and that's really responsible. Especially in the US, we've seen all these scandals where people have photos released online and then their careers damaged, or it's very irresponsible.
No, them celebrities, man, them celebrities.
What they're putting on social media. Culture of being cautious about what goes online is much more prevalent in Germany, and also just in general not wanting to be in pictures or videos is much more common. Like in Bad Laspa, when we were filming, a lot of times the teamers and teachers would just say like, no, I don't want to be in the picture, and would step out. Another personality trait that is much different here than in the US is that you don't talk to strangers really. I know that in the US you smile at everyone on the street and you wave, when even just a random person is walking by with their dog, you're like, oh hi, and you can say like, oh your dog's so cute. But here it's much more uncommon to do that, especially on the bus, I noticed. So in public transport in the US, the very few public transport systems that we have, you can start up a conversation with someone next to you, or maybe on an airplane. You could also start up a conversation, but here on the bus, you don't really talk to people next to you if you don't know them. That would just definitely be very strange. And then the personality trait that I've noticed that's different here, or I guess social aspect, is that Germans are much more honest and upfront with things. For example,
that's the reason why they tell you when they don't want to be in a picture. I think a lot of Americans do want that. They just don't know how to express that to you.
I have a friend and we're sitting next to each other in German class, or maybe I think it was geography, and we're writing and taking notes, and I'm writing my notes and I have like a calligraphy pen for the header, and it looks really good, and then the rest of my notes just look super bad. I just take them with pencil, and he looked over at me and he said, oh, your calligraphy at the top is really good, but your handwriting is so bad. And I was like, thank you.
Mind your business.
It's funny, it's just very different. Another example was someone came up to me, and one of my friends, of course, and he was just like, oh, I don't like your jeans. I was like, thank you.
Nah, he pushing it now. Come on, man. Come on. You don't tell a woman that. Come on, man. He just straight pushing it right there. Like, nah, that's just, you just don't do shit like that. I'm sorry. That's not honesty. That's stupid to me. Like, I can guarantee that there are many guys in Germany who will see a woman who has a pant on, it's his friend or whatever, he's not going to necessarily tell her that. Like, God damn.
Yes. I like them, so I'm gonna wear them, but it's very different than in the US. People probably would not say that to you as upfront, but I actually really like the honesty here because it's less superficial and people are just so upfront about things.
Right.
I really wish that it was like that in the US sometimes. Another example that I remembered of like German honesty is I was having a conversation with a friend, and you know when you can tell that someone's like looking and analyzing your face, and then like mid-conversation she stopped and was like, you need to do your eyebrows. And I was like, yeah, I know, because I had just looked in the mirror that morning and like thought to myself, I really need to do my eyebrows. But this
nah, somebody say that to me, I'm like, mind your business, bro. Nah, bro. Like, imagine telling somebody straight up, yo, you gotta do your eyebrow. Like, no.
Honesty, it's not, it may sound rude when you're saying it like out of context, but it's not rude in the moment, and it's just, you know that they care about you, and that they trust the relationship that you have, and they're willing to tell you the truth and try to be honest and be a good friend.
Nah, tell me if I ask. But no, I get where she's coming from, and I get the perspective of the Germans and their honesty. But hey, I got a friend and he tell me that I like, if we haven't established that form of relationship where it's so close that, you know, personal stuff are being told, well, you know, it's a no for me. But I do understand that you know, it's probably something that you would take a while to get used to. But I cannot imagine somebody like, I put a shoe on and I'm just chilling and somebody's like, yo, I don't like your shoe. Like, bro, what? This is my shoe, not your shoe. Why are you telling me you don't like my shoe? You know, type stuff. So I don't know, maybe I'm tweaking. I am probably tweaking. But yeah, you guys can let me know if this is like typical German. Like, y'all just go say shit like, yeah, you got a shitty shoe, man. Anyways, man, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm out of here. Peace.